Please welcome your final comedic debater for this evening, Mehran Khaghani.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hi. You said something about eating cookies at Costco? Yeah, where are you eating those? On the fucking grocery floor, you menace? There is something so flawed. Spiritually flawed. And a Costco quantity of cookies, actually, respect. And then, another question, is my husband in here? There he is. That we 100% make our own fries at home. And look, no scars. No scars. Also, no waiting for someone to bring something that's been sitting under lamplight for like 20, 30, you know what I'm talking about when someone has the audacity to bring you a fucked up fry in a restaurant. Never mind that middle image that was like some kind of Epstein Island fry cocky nonsense.
Those theories are unfounded.
And why are we the ones who are dressed for dinner? Eating in versus dining out. Get the... A little history of dining out. The earliest restaurants in human history, they appear in China around 1100 AD, right? Chinese tradesmen, far from home, would travel, and they couldn't tolerate the local cuisine. And so cottage industry sort of sprouted up so that they could be fed food that was sort of more familiar to them. Dining out was invented for men who couldn't handle unfamiliar soup. That is the foundation. Enter France. Oh, you stupid bitch. This hasn't been happening this whole time. Enter France. Fucking the French. Oh, okay. During the Enlightenment, wealthy merchants were convinced that sophistication meant sipping broth in a room full of other wealthy merchants. They called this civilization. After the French Revolution, chefs who had been cooking for people about to be beheaded decided that the obvious next move was to charge the newly rich to feel fancy. And so dining out was born. But to recap, the whole thing, dining out, the whole thing, it is predicated on whining anxiety and performative opulence. Eating in, it was doing this earlier. There we go. Eating in is divine. Every spiritual tradition in human history has a sacred meal. Not a reservation, a sacred meal. The Seder, the Eucharist, the Iftar, the Prasad, none of these happen at a restaurant. They all happen in. The divine meal is always in. It has always been in. It will always be in. People who dine out for Thanksgiving are vagabonds who have estranged themselves to their fellow man, God, and country. Not only do they not know how to care for themselves, their very lives are repellent to those who do. This is not a moment to outsource. When you come to that realization that you can't Thanksgiving, you do not outsource that moment. That is a moment of reckoning. That is when you reflect and change your life. This thing has been, do you see me just hammering at it? but let's touch grass. What is eating in? What does it actually mean? The dog is there. His name is Doodles, and he can't go to restaurants. You're wearing exactly what you want to be wearing when you're eating in, right? Or nothing, your call. No one is asking if you're still working on that. You still working on that? You still working on that? The music is yours. The light is yours. The temperature is yours. Nobody topped off your water as a passive-aggressive signal that your presence has become a liability. Huh? Huh? When it's over, you're not doing tip math for a team of people who have hated you since birth. You're already home. Also, who designed that goddamn chair? Fuck a restaurant chair. Here are some theories I have as to who designed the restaurant chair. A man who has never sat down may have designed that chair. A long-dead Puritan who believed leisure a sin and the body a chariot of suffering. He designed that chair. A committee that hired a designer who opened with, but how long do people really need to sit? And then nobody stopped him. Someone whose entire childhood was spent being bullied by chairs. Sociopaths at a Buto monastery. That was a cultural deep cut. The Melania Trump Be Best Chair Group. Chair. Just a serpent-faced garage door chair. A corporate CEO who sat in it once for 4 seconds, nodded, and then flew private to Provence, never to return. That is who designed your restaurant chair. Also, let's unpack this shit. I worked in restaurants for 10 years. Everybody hates you. Every last person there hates you. The hostess is making a third of what the server does. She has to look better than your server, and you're not paying her a dime. She has been punishing you since she heard the door open. The lighting designer conspired with the menu's desktop publisher for months to ensure you wouldn't be able to read shit. You're squinting at $42 fish like it was written in runes. Your server sized up your capacity for generosity when the busser intentionally missed your glass while filling your water. The rest is procedure. Your food was prepared by a man who doesn't wash his hands after fingering the hostess. And the manager no one can find is in the office waiting for his coke dealer to text him back. True or false?
What does finger foods mean?
Hors d'oeuvres. Pants are hideously overrated. I wanna. This could be a myth, but I swear. When does the pageantry stop? Right? Constant pants is a social contract I do not recall signing. I'm sorry. I have to eat as a condition of my mortal life. Do I also need to cover my legs all the goddamn time? When does the oppression stop and the compassionate accommodation of unavoidable biological realities begin? Hospitality where? The self-care myth, and I am wrapping up. They told you dining out was self-care. They told you that leaving your home, making yourself presentable, and then traveling to a loud room where you wait, act like you're nicer than you are, take what you're given, calculate and tip was taking care of yourself. Maybe it's time to ask why you can't feed yourself without help. But let's not put lipstick on a dog's penis. Is he unbelievable? All right. a premium that would make your ancestors weep just so you can say you did is not self-care. It means you got. What self-care is, sliced fruit in the tub is self-care. Soup in bed when you're low is self-care. A burger enjoyed ravenously when no one is looking and those feelings need immediate de-escalation is self-care. A thin crust angry nonna from Mama's 2, you order at noon and eat all day while watching a whole season of a good show is self-care. A meal you made in your own home with your own 2 hands, enjoyed in an ambience of your own design, is radical, defiant, revolutionary self-care. The conclusion. Dining out is the only human activity where you pay someone to try to make you feel at home. When home is what you left only to miss the mark. Thank you all so much.